All right, let's get started. Welcome to today's webinar. Our topic today is internship and job search tools and strategies. My name is Damian Lay, and I'm the Employer Connection Specialist at the Career Development Center. And also on the call today is Adrian Ramirez and also Debbie Young, also from the Career Development Center. And they will be monitoring the chat area. So if you have any questions during the course of the webinar, feel free to use that chat function and they will try to answer as best as they can or interrupt me and to ask the questions. So feel free to use the chat area. I thought before we get started, we can do, let's see, there we go. We'll do a quick intro of everyone that's in attendance. So in the chat box, if you can enter in your major and your year in school, just so I can have a better picture of who all of you are, and maybe we can even use some of your majors and your career paths to look for some of the jobs. So go ahead and use the chat function and enter in your major and your year in school. So we have anthropology, computer engineering, kines, business management, environmental science, electrical engineering, transfer, MCJ, animal science. Wow, we got a really good, diverse group. Marketing, special ed. Wow, we really have a good and diverse group today. So before we get started further, let's also do a poll. So I wanted to see what y'all's plans are for this year. So whether you plan on working this school year. So let's just get a quick pulse of what you guys are thinking. Are you guys planning on working while you're in school this year? Okay, it seems like we almost have everyone. So we'll just end it right here. So we have 81%. It looks like 80% of you plan on working, and about 20% of you are not planning on working. So let's get back to this. So I thought it would be fun to, when we get started, to kind of talk about why work. Why should you work while you are a student? A lot of you think, well, you know, I'm in college, I should be focusing on my studies. Why should I work? So here are just some of the benefits that we often talk about. Of course, there's the extra income, the little more cash that you can get, whether it's paying for your tuition or for your living expenses. Another great one is it enhances your resume and also gain transferable skills. So some of you might even think, well, maybe I'm just doing a restaurant job or something that's not very, professional. What we normally think of a professional job. So, why should I put that on my resume? And actually, even for something like a restaurant server, you gain a lot of different skills that would be applicable to put on your resume or seem attractive to employers. So you gain customer service skills, you gain communication skills, you gain time management skills. All of that are good to put on your resume to showcase that you can manage, you have earned skills that could be transferable to your future career. Another good reason why you should work is that it will expand your connections and your network. You will get to know more people in the community, more people outside of the classroom, and that will help you in the long run. It's really true when they say it's not about what you know, sometimes it's about who you know. Sometimes having that connection, having that network will get your foot in the door for your future career. So these are all really important reasons why you should consider working even as you are studying as a student. And I think it's important to note, so there are different types of jobs that are out there. There's on-campus, like student assistant jobs. There's also part-time work, and then there's also internships. So those are all different things that we, different ways that you can gain these experiences that we're talking about. And I want to focus on internships for a minute here. So what is actually an internship? Sometimes we get that confused, what is the difference between an internship or a part-time job? So I think for internship, the most important difference is that internships are usually a supervised, structured learning experience. It's more than just a job. And it's usually in a professional setting that allows you to gain good working experience in your chosen field of study. So it could be your future career, and you're just getting a little taste of what your future career, what your future job could look like. I think mentorship and having that connection into the company that you get an internship is very important part of an internship. And it's not about just being go-first and doing administrative work, but you're from an internship experience, you want to be able to gain real work experience for your future career, and to be able to gain exposure to what your future career will look like. So I think that's an important distinction when you think about internships. And internship can even be unpaid, but hopefully you'll be able to get academic credit. So depending on what college you are a part of, you can register for different classes that will allow you to get academic credit for your internship that you are a part of. Before we move on, are there any questions about internships specifically that we can talk about? Debbie or Adrian?
Amy, there's no questions yet. I'm just adding some comments in the chat feature. So go ahead if you do have questions. Adrian and I from the Career Center are here to answer your questions, and we'll pose them to Damien if we start to see a theme. So nothing at this point, Damien.
Well, there's one. Where can we find internships on campus, Damien?
We'll cover that in a little bit. So just hold on for a minute. So I think as we move along, another question that kind of we can think of is, are there jobs out there right now? Are there internships right now? Yes, the landscape of the job market is changing a lot, but there are still jobs. There are still internships that are out there. And right now, what you see on the screen is from Career Builder. So basically what they do, they scour the internet for all the different jobs and openings out there, and then they kind of compile this data for us to see. And right now there are still a lot of job postings, and you can see the different top industries that are hiring right now. So it goes from administrative support, healthcare, of course, and even to manufacturing, finance, insurance, information, public administration. So all sorts of different industries are hiring for jobs and internships right now. And specifically, looking at our area, the Central Valley, these are the specific industries that we're seeing a lot of postings, both with jobs and with internships. So there are a lot of agriculture, of course, we're in the Valley. There are a lot of tech companies that are still hiring, especially as we move into working virtually. There's a lot of software, there's a lot of tech development that are hiring. Logistics is always a hot market right now. And then also we're seeing a lot of business and financial services. Banks insurance, mortgage. So all of that, all of these different industries, they are still hiring.
Hey,
And
Damien, can I add something? So I used to be the internship coordinator for the Craig School of Business for 25 years. I was a faculty member, and we're not going to lie to you, during COVID-19, there's not as many internships as pre-COVID-19. So there is some pullback, but some, as Damien mentioned, for example, virtual internships in business like accounting would be a lot easier than something, say, in nursing. But just remember, COVID-19 prayerfully will be a temporary thing, and kind of the trends are showing that internships will pick up again next summer. That might not be good news if you're graduating in May, but for some of you that might not be graduating for 2 years, the trends are really showing that internships in person will pick up again, and you kind of have to look at COVID-19 as kind of a temporary setback, but don't give up that there aren't any out there. There are, but there's just not the abundance that there was pre-COVID-19.
that's great, thank you. And also I want to note that many internships that we've noticed have gone virtual. Just for an example, yesterday I was on a call with some recruiters from T-Mobile. And basically what they're doing is their whole internship program has gone online, it's gone virtual. And so that one nice thing about that is before, whereas maybe some of you wouldn't consider an internship at T-Mobile because you would have to move to Seattle to where their headquarters is, to live there for 2 months or 3 months during the time of the internships. But now you can be at home and still participate in those internships. So that's one good thing that you can kind of think about and be on the lookout for, is internships that have gone virtual. And more companies are shifting that way. We're seeing that too. So that's important to keep in mind. And kind of, as what Debbie was talking about too. So are there any jobs and internships out there? Yes, there are. But I think one thing for us to, some important things for us to think about is that, that we have to manage our expectations. Maybe it's not going to be your dream job. Maybe it's not going to be your dream internship, or it might not be exactly in the field that you are looking for, but maybe it's a related field. So manage your expectations because there are less opportunities, and also be flexible. Think outside the box. And another advice will be persist. Keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. So there are opportunities out there, and and if you keep trying, you will land something. And also, lastly, that this is not forever. Again, COVID-19 is just a temporary thing. It might be, for a few more months, 6 months, but this is not forever. The situation will change. So you might have to consider looking for a job outside of the area that you're comfortable with. But this is not forever. You can always move and look for another job when the job market improves. Any other questions for now?
I think there's individual questions about majors, but Adrian and I are pretty much like, does engineering have an internship program? Yes, they do. It's called the VIP program. Somebody wants to be a football coach. Is there a program for that? And I said, if you're rec and leisure studies, yes, they have internships. So it's more major specific. So realize that if you're a specific major and want to know more about your internship program, you can email us at the Career Center, and we can give you contact people on who you might directly be in contact with about internships for specific majors.
Yeah, so it's important to note that, especially because internships are more geared toward your field of study. So a lot of times your specific, so it's a little bit different depending on the college that you're a part of.
Also, Damien, they're asking, where might I find an internship, for example, in another city during the summer? And I'm sure you're going to go over higher Fresno State, but do you want to address that one?
Yes, so let's move on to the next part of our presentation. So let's look at different job search resources and tools that are out there. So maybe in the chat box, if you guys want to share what kind of resources have you guys used in the past, or what you guys have used to look for a job. It could be LinkedIn or Indeed or Glassdoor or different things like that. So let's just have a look at what have you guys used as a resource to look for jobs. LinkedIn, FastWeb. Anyone else? LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed. We were seeing a few of those. And somebody says LinkedIn and Higher Fresno State. So Debbie had mentioned Higher Fresno State. So let me launch a poll right now. I'm interested to know how many of you guys know what Higher Fresno State is. And if you do, whether you have an account or not. Okay, it looks like it's pretty even. Go ahead and share the result. It's almost a third, a third, a third. Some of you guys haven't heard of Higher Fresno State. Some of you have, but don't have an account. And then some of you do and have an account already. So let's go ahead and talk about Higher Fresno State. Basically, Higher Fresno State is an online job portal where employers and recruiters post their jobs, and they're looking specifically for Fresno State students. And you can access Higher Fresno State through the website that you see on there on screen. And actually, as a student, the best way for you to access Higher Fresno State is through your My Fresno State portal. And once you log into your My Fresno State portal, you'll see Higher Fresno State on your left-hand menu, the column down there. And then when you click on Higher Fresno State, it will lead you directly to the Higher Fresno State website. And when you first sign on for the first time, this is the screen that you will see. It will make you fill out some basic personal contact information, and then also some profile information, such as what major you are, what clubs and organizations you're a part of. Try as best as you can to fill it in as detailed as you can. But if you don't have time, or if you feel like you don't have any information that you can put in right now, that's okay. You can always update that information later. One thing important to note is even if you don't finish all your profile information, you can still access the job board. Just make sure you click on the go to dashboard link that's circled here on the screen. So sometimes there are some questions that maybe it looks like it's a required question, but you don't have to answer all of those questions before you look at what jobs are listed. So just click on that go to dashboard link. Let me change my screen real quick to the actual website.
Hey, Damien, somebody's asking, when you go on Higher Fresno State and you apply to positions, but you never hear back from employers, what do you do?
I would send an email, look at the contact information on there, send an email just as a follow-up. Unfortunately, sometimes they just don't get back to people. That I would personally say, I would say that's not a good practice, but unfortunately, we can't control the recruiters, and sometimes they just don't get back to people. Maybe they have too many applications. So unfortunately, that is a reality. But you can send them an email, politely ask, what is the status, and most of the time, I find that recruiters would get back to you.
Okay, thank you, Damien.
So once you get into Higher Fresno State, this is what you should see. You should see that on the screen right now. This is Mary Willis's test account. She is our internship coordinator. She's out of the office for the next couple weeks, but I'm using her test account right now. So once you log in and then you go to the dashboard, this is what you will see. There's a left-hand menu here that shows you all of different functions that we have, and also new job listings are featured here. And these are just the ones that are new, not necessarily all of the jobs that are here. And I had mentioned that before, if you say you get another job and then you want to add your profile information, you get a part-time job or you joined a club and you want to change your profile information, you can click on the My Profile button here on the left-hand side, and then you will be able to change your information, whether it's your contact information or all of your other information that's here. Organizations, volunteering, all of this. So just a note that the more information you put in, the more you will be able to match with employers. And when employers are looking for specific students, a lot of times they would use these functions to kind of filter out what kind of applicants they're looking for. Yeah, I would say if you can fill out as much information as you can, that would be better for you as a candidate. And you can also upload your resume and cover letters, and if you have like letters of recommendations, you can upload them here as well. And then so the main function for Higher Fresno State here is the job search function. So you can see that also on the left-hand side. If you click on the job search, the little briefcase, you will see this kind of search area. And then there are all these different filters that are here. So right now, as you can see here, there are 201 jobs that are posted on this job board. And you can use these filters to kind of find different jobs that you're looking for. So first, let's go to job type. You can click See All, and then you can click, so let's look at an internship. So there are internships for academic credits, internships for professional experience, ones that don't necessarily give you class credits. And then also let's just look at those two, and then you click on Apply Filter here. And then you will see that there are results. There are 22 jobs out of the 201 jobs that are listed are internships. And here are all the different search results. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of harvest and winemaking internships that are out there, a lot of ag internships. That definitely has been something that we're seeing a lot. So there's an accounting internship, there's a social media coordinator intern here, community media intern, yeah, all sorts of different positions. And you can kind of sort them by different ways. So you can sort it by deadline dates, you can sort it by the organization, posting dates, et cetera, et cetera. So for example, if you see a job here that you like, so let's pick this accounting internship, for example, and you want to research the company a little bit before you actually apply for it, you can click on this hot list, the star right here, and it will star it for you. And then when you come back and you're ready to apply for the actual internship, you can just click on the hot list here, and it will bring you back to all, it will show you all of the jobs that you have hot listed. So let's go back to that accounting internship that we were looking at. So you'll see all the job descriptions that's here. These are the different majors that this company is specifically looking for. They have an overall GPA requirement of 3.0. And then here, there's also the position information. So 20 hours a week, $14 an hour, et cetera, et cetera. And then as you scroll down, you'll see the contact information for the person to contact. And then also you'll see application instructions. So this is really important to follow. It will give you so here they actually didn't indicate how they want you to apply. So I would assume that you can either upload your resume and your cover letter here to apply directly, or you can email this contact person with your resume and your cover letter.
Damien, we have a lot of internship questions. Maybe we could pause here for a second.
Sure.
How would a student know which internship is the best way to gain experience for a particular major?
I would say instead of thinking about particular majors, think about what you want to do after you graduate. What kind of industry do you want to work for? Not necessarily relating to specifically your major. So I think I glanced and I saw there's a psych major who wants to know what type of internships
right.
is good for them. So I would think, what do you want to do? Do you want to work as a professional psychiatrist or a counselor? Do you want to work for a business company that does human resources type of work, because they also hire psych majors? So I think that's something that you can think of. Think of it by industry, but then also if you go back to the search function here, this job search area, you can type in keywords. You can type in your major. Psychology. And I think that could be one way. Or right now there aren't anything that's specifically related to this keyword, but you can try to play around with different keywords, and that could be one way that you can look for positions too.
Right. Also credits are coming up a lot. A lot of questions on credits. People are asking, well, is that going to impact my FAFSA, and why would I want to sign up for units? And so that kind of all depends on your major. Some majors it's required, other majors it's not required. I don't know if anybody, Adrian, if you know this, or Damien, the number of units would impact your FAFSA. That's probably more of a question for financial aid.
Yeah.
But as far as units, having worked a lot in an internship program, the beauty for me, I know in the Craig School, it's an option, but we really wanted you to sign up for the units to make it an official internship to put on your resume. And it does show up on your transcript as an internship. So sometimes employers ask for transcripts, and then they can see that you really officially did an internship, because there's some reflection and paperwork. I mean, it's really a 3-unit class. In the School of Business, it actually substitutes an upper division elective. That isn't necessarily true in all other majors, but some majors, for example, you require you to do an internship. So my personal opinion is if you can get the units, just because it officially shows up on your transcript and you can actually prove, you did this extraordinary extra thing that you can show on your resume. I don't know if you have a thought on that, Adrian or Damien.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with FAFSA, so that would be something. I would think asking financial aid or even talking to your academic advisor would be better.
Yeah, if I can chime in. Hi, everyone. This is Daniel. I'm the career liaison to the College of Science and Math. I'm seeing some questions about psychology or where to volunteer for, how to do an internship if you want to be a veterinarian. I think it's important to know that some of the places where you might want to get an internship require licenses, or that you are in vet school or you're in a medical school program. So sometimes the way around that is to become a volunteer too. And I know that's not the topic of today, but sometimes as a volunteer, you are going to get exposure, network with these professionals. So that's another venue, because I know students that have veterinary hospitals or vet clinics, and they get to interact with the patients as they bring their pets, and they also get to sometimes be able to pick up a part-time job as a vet assistant. So volunteering is also another way to get experiences.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think so. For kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier, that working or having an internship enhances your resume and work experience. You can kind of think of all of these things, including volunteering, as like a stepping stone to the next step of your career path. So adding those steps will lead you to the next step, and to the next step, to the next step. So just getting some of those, first getting volunteer experience, then you can get the internship for the year after. And then with the internship, then maybe you can get the full-time job for when you graduate. And then I also saw Debbie's response in the chat about the Jordan College. Jordan College has their own internship coordinator. The School of Business also have their own internship coordinator. And also the College of Engineering also have their own internship coordinator with the VIP program. So I think, sometimes they have a lot more connections in terms of, and also specialty in terms of what you want to, what you're looking for. So make sure you check out those different resources, and also at the Career Development Center, each of our career liaisons will have more information for you for your specific field. And they can meet with you and also come up with a personalized strategy or personalized plan in terms of how to get the volunteer experience or internship experience or work experience you need for your future career. All right, let's move on with Higher Fresno State. So just to kind of show you guys a few more functions, or a few more listings. So you can also use Higher Fresno State to look for on-campus jobs, such as student assistant positions. So you can select all the different on-campus positions that are out there. And if you apply the filter, I'm not sure why it doesn't show, but I think there are about 20 jobs right now that are listed. So these are all on-campus student assistant positions. So you can also use Higher Fresno State for that. So these are all the different positions that are listed right now. And make sure you check back often. And then another thing that you can do is create a search agent. So maybe right now you don't see a job that or an internship that appeals to you or is applicable to you, but you can create these search agents, saved searches. So for example, if you search for a job here, let's do animal science, and then you want it to be part-time or internship. And then you can click apply filter. There are no jobs right now, but you can save this filter. You can click save my filter here, and you can name it whatever you want. And you can either select to have it email you updates when there are positions posted, new positions posted that are newly listed, and then you can save it. And then when you go to the save searches here, it will give you the search that you're looking for. You can quickly kind of go to the search that you're looking for.
Damien, I also want to mention, kind of like I did with internships, I know some of you are brand new coming to campus. So in a good year, it's hard to look at this fall, and it's not that it isn't a good year, but with COVID-19, things are complicated. In a normal school year, we hire around over 2,000 students part-time on campus in any given academic year, which is great. But because we're going to be limited this fall on how many people can come on campus, the number of on-campus jobs will be probably drastically reduced. In our own office, we had almost 11 student assistants last year, and this year we might only have 2. So just remember, again, this is a temporary thing. On-campus jobs are awesome. They work around your schedule, you meet people, you hear about programs, but realize that, again, this is kind of an abnormal year, and don't give up hope. Just keep looking at Hire Fresno State. That's where all the jobs are posted. There will be pockets of hiring going on. The volume just won't be there, so there'll be more competition per position. So I just want to make sure that that you understand the reality of, yes, on-campus jobs are great, but there will be a pretty significant reduction in them for this fall semester, and we're not sure about spring yet.
Thank you, Debbie. Let's just quickly go over some other functions here for Hire Fresno State. So one thing that's going to happen in October is we're going to have 3 different virtual job fairs, job and internship fairs. And you will be able to find information and how to register for those job fairs here under the events tab here. And they will be virtual job fairs for this fall. And hopefully we can get a good amount of employers to come and recruit our students. So be on the lookout. And so Hire Fresno State is a good place to have an account and keep an eye on different new things that are happening. So let's move on to some other job search tools. Some of you guys have mentioned LinkedIn. I'm not sure if all of you are familiar with what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is basically kind of like a social media, kind of like Facebook, where you can connect with different people, except it's in a professional setting. So right now you see this is my profile. And my job title, there's a quick about, and then also my past experiences here. So if you create an account, you can add basically it's like an online resume with all of your past experiences, education, licenses, certificates, and different things like that. And it's a tool for you to kind of connect with, build your network basically with professionals. And it's also a great way for you to look for jobs. And then if you click on the jobs tab up here, you can kind of use it to search for different positions. The default, they kind of have different things that matches your profile that's right here already. But you can use also their search function to look for different things. So these are just some of the keywords that I've searched for different things, different jobs, positions here. So let's look at virtual internships that I looked at. So here are all these different searches that come up from putting in virtual internships, and then you can kind of based on this search and look what they're looking for. And some of them you can apply directly, and some of them you have to go to their website. One advice I would give is whenever you're using LinkedIn or Glassdoor, Indeed, or different search websites like this, it's probably best to go directly to the company's website to look up the positions, because sometimes these websites don't have the most up-to-date information. And so maybe they don't have the job anymore open, but LinkedIn would not have that reflected that yet. So I would say it's always a good idea to click onto the company's website and look directly on the website to see if that job is still available. Yeah, so other than LinkedIn, there's also Glassdoor, which is similar but without the social media personal networking component. You can search for different jobs. You can sign up for an account, so then you can save searches and have them email you notifications when there's a new job that's related to your field. Um, Also, Indeed is another good resource, another good tool. They're pretty similar, Indeed and Glassdoor. And then there's also Snag a Job, which is for more part-time positions, but it's also a tool that you can use to look for positions, or to look for jobs. And then, like what I said, I think as you are thinking about internships and thinking about jobs, what kind of jobs you want to work for, what kind of industry you want to work for, think about companies that are maybe you want to work for that are in the area. So for example, here I have Wonderful. Here it's a big company in the Central Valley. One good thing to do is always keep tabs on their careers website and see what kind of opportunities they have. And Wonderful usually has a lot of different opportunities, from internships to full-time jobs that are listed. So you can type in part-time, search, and then there are all these different part-time positions. You can type in internships. You don't have anything right now. Yeah, but it's a great way for you to kind of keep tabs on a company that you like, that a company that you aspire to work for, and make sure that you are you sign up for notifications, so then when they have new positions open that matches your search, you will be alerted to those positions. Another resource that I want to highlight is our website, Career Development Center's website. There are a lot of different resources here that could help you. If you feel a little overwhelmed, make sure you make an appointment with one of our career liaisons, career counselors, and they will walk through all of the resources that we have that applies to you personally, so that you can it can help you look for a job. So one other thing that we have too is also a spreadsheet, especially for part-time positions that are in the area. So if you go to our website, there are these different banners. And then the fourth banner here is this looking for a job. And when you click on it, it will let you download an Excel spreadsheet. And this is what the Excel spreadsheet would look like. And it's updated every week with current part-time positions that are out there right now, with the link to how you can apply, directions on how you can apply. So there are about 107 different positions that are out here. And also different resources are listed here as well.
Damien, there's a couple questions Daniel just answered to Chong. Wanted to know about, how are you finding all these companies? And I know you don't have time to go over Busfile, so just to let the audience know, we do have something called Busfile too.
Yep, so there's this thing called Busfile. It's on, if you look on our Career Development Center website, so it's fresnostate.edu/careers. It's the easiest way for you to get there. If you scroll down, there are all these web-based resources that you can check out at your own time. These are all available to you 24/7. And Busfile is one of the resources that we have that you can use to discover employers. If you click on it, you can find employers by majors. You can do research on different companies and different things like that.
Adrian, are you seeing any other questions? We've been answering them. I don't think there's other. Somebody asked about the virtual career fairs, so I put the dates. I didn't put the time yet, but do you want to talk, because they are virtual internship and career fairs, do you want to talk a little bit about what we have coming up?
Sure. So we will have 3 different virtual career fairs this fall. Usually we only have one big one, and we have it at the Safe Mart Center, where we have hundreds of employers come and recruit our students. But given the times right now, we're not able to do that. But so we're going to separate it into 3 different ones. And it will be by industry. So we will have one that's we're calling STEAM. So we have science, technology, engineering, agriculture, and math/manufacturing. So that one will be first on October 13th. And then we will have another fair for health, human services, and public service on October 15th. And then also one more for business and creative and media careers. And that one is on October 21st. If you just keep a lookout on our webpage, the Career Center's webpage, you will find more information. As the date comes closer, we're going to post all of that information on there. And I see a question: how can we apply for the STEAM job fair? So you can once that's all set up, you will be able to register for that fair on Higher Fresno State. So the virtual fair, we will be using the Higher Fresno State platform. So you can just log on there, and it will allow you to look at a list of employers that are coming. You can sign up for a time slot to talk to a specific recruiter for the company, and you can sign up for a slot that way. So it's all going to be through Higher Fresno State. So when you create an account, you go in there and look at the events. When that's all set up, you'll be able to see it there and register and sign up on there.
And do you want to talk a little bit about our, maybe tell them about our virtual career cafe? So if you're really interested in more things that you learned today and you'd like somebody to show you a few of them, whether it's Higher Fresno State or Busfile, or who do I contact for internships, could you tell us a little bit about our virtual career cafe?
Yep. So if you have some quick questions in terms of anything that's related to your future career path, you are welcome to come to our virtual career cafe. So basically, it's an open time for you, any time for you to drop in and ask quick questions and about our resources, about how to do certain things. And the link is there. It's through Zoom, so you just click on the link that's there, the bit.ly link, FS Career Cafe, and I think you have to, it's case sensitive, so you have to do the case there, and it will lead you to our career cafe, and someone will be staffed during those times on Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays from 10 to 12, and then on Tuesdays 1 to 3, and you can drop in anytime to just ask your questions, and also set up an appointment with a career counselor.
And those, you might want to tell them too that those hours will probably change when the fall semester starts, but we'll put them on our website.
Yep, so always go back to our website. I will go back to our website, fresnostate.edu/careers. Always go back to our website, and it will have all of our events and all of our the information on there. And then also I want to highlight another webinar that we'll be having next week. If you have questions about how to pay for college, about FAFSA, about scholarships, we have some experts from Wells Fargo who will be giving a webinar about how to pay for college and student loans and things like that. And that will be next week, next Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. So if you just follow that link, that Zoom link, and you can pre-register for that for that. And make sure you follow our social media. Usually we post all of these flyers from this webinar to the virtual career cafe. We post all of that information on our social media. So it's just at Higher Fresno State for Instagram and also for Twitter. It's just at Higher Fresno State, all one word. And you can find out announcements and, about webinars and upcoming events and resources and things like that. Any other questions?
I'm not seeing any. Adrian, how about you?
Everything looks good.
Yeah, I think it's great. We did have like over 50 people today, so we're super excited that students are excited about thinking about their careers and internships. I think it's wonderful to see so many of you online on a Thursday afternoon at noon interested in what we have to say. We'll be doing a lot of webinars this fall, and so our website is going to be a really good place to just check out. We change our website almost on a weekly basis, so there's always new resources on there. So if you need us, call us, visit the cafe. We've got people willing and ready to help you in whatever way that we can.
All right, if there aren't any more questions, then that's it for today. Thank you for coming.